Hello everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. Just in case we haven't met before, my name is Rachel. We're doing a full body flow today. I'm going to use 2 blocks just to hold on to a little bit. Definitely optional. Find some space to move though, and let's get started. So let's begin today in child's pose. And if you do have a couple blocks to use, you could have one on either side of the top of your mat. Again, you may find them useful to use and you may just find them more of a pain to use. But bring your knees wide, your big toes together, sit back on your heels, and then start to lean forwards. You can reach your arms forwards and fronts. Bring your forehead down and just allow your shoulders to soften. Close your eye. Take a slower breath in and out. Scan your body. Notice where you're feeling some extra love today. Notice if you can soften those areas of your body a little bit more. Let's stay for another full breath. And then using an inhale to help you lift all the way up to tabletop, to your hands and knees. Maybe give your hips a gentle sway. Spread your fingers nice and wide, tuck your toes under. Lift your knees up to downward facing dog. Try to drop your heels towards the ground a little bit as you drop the chest, the head. Now lift your heels up nice and high. Bring your shoulders forwards towards your wrists a little bit and then bend your knees so that you end up in your tabletop slowly. But plant your knees on the ground. Your toes can stay tucked. Lift the knees back up, downward dog. Try to lower the heels, maybe float your toes. Let your chest, your head get heavy. And then just shift forwards a little. Lift the heels, bring the shoulders forwards a little bit, squeeze your belly button in, bend your knees, and gently place them down. Now, untuck the toes, rest on the top of the feet, and send your hips back towards your heels, just as far back as they will go. Start to float forwards. Keep going. Bring your shoulders towards the fingertips or past the fingertips, and then bend your elbows and hug them into your sides as you lower your chest and your chin. Push yourself back up, squeezing your elbows into your sides. Send the hips back towards your heels, and then float forwards and forwards and forwards and bend your elbows. Lower your chest, your chin, squeeze your arms to your sides, especially as you push yourself back up. Send your hips back just a little bit to tabletop. Tuck your toes again and lift your knees into downward facing dog. Now use an inhale to look forwards this time. As you exhale, walk to the top of your mat. With an inhale, take a half lift. And exhale, folding forwards as you inhale. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up and exhale, lower your arms down. Take a shoulder roll. As you inhale, reach up and exhale, fold forwards. Inhale into a half lift. And exhale to come down and plant your hands. Step your feet back to downward dog. Start to drop your heels a little bit more and let your head, your chest get heavy. Then float those heels as high as you can. Shoulders forwards a little bit. Bend the knees down to your tabletop. Rest on the top of the feet. Send the hips back to the heels. And then float forwards, forwards, forwards. Bend the elbows, lower your chest, your chin. Pop back up. Shift back just a little to tabletop. Tuck the toes. Lift the knees. Take an inhale to look forwards. And exhale, walking up to the top of your mat. Inhale into a half lift. And exhale as you fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach up. And exhale, lower your arms to your side. Nice, you guys. Okay, we're going to stay standing just a second. If you've got blocks to use, maybe bring them in just a little bit closer together. We're going to step our feet mat width apart though, toes pointing out to the sides. Now we're going to start to bend our knees. You can have your hands maybe together in front of your chest. We're going to bend our knees and try to lean forward. So maybe you rest your hands on top of your blocks or the ground, but just lift your chest a little more. Come into the deepest squat that you can come into. Knees wide, feet wide. Then take your little tip forwards and lift your hips. The heels, turn your toes to point forwards. Fold forwards a little bit more. Then take an inhale to lift your chest halfway up. Can you pop your heels up and turn those toes out slightly? And then bend your knees and lower your hips and lift your chest, and maybe your hands come together in front of your heart. A nice deep squat. But then straighten your legs, come all the way up and then right back down. So bend the knees, lift the chest. Maybe you're holding something, maybe not quite yet, but then we're going to tip forwards to lift the hips. Turn those toes forward, so scooch the heels out. Fold more. Inhale, lift your chest like halfway, and maybe turn those heels in again. And then bend the knees, drop the hips, lift the chest, and come all the way back up to standing. Awesome. Bring your feet back together. You can scoot your blocks off to the side just a little bit further, but find the top of your mat, roll your shoulders back and down, and inhale as you reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. Take an inhale to lift halfway up, and exhale to come down. Plant your hands, step your feet back to downward facing dog. Push into those hands, let your head, your chest get heavy, and then slowly lift the heels high, lower the knees down to tabletop. So you can untuck your toes, rest on the top of the feet. Tabletop though, feel free to take a gentle sway of your hips. We're just going to be bringing our right foot forwards. So if you want to hold on to something, again, totally optional, but the right foot can make its way forward. So into a lunge. So bear with me here. The blocks may come in handy, but that right foot, our front foot's in the middle of our mat. We're sinking into those hips, so feeling that left hip flexor. Now we're going to start to send our hips back. So you could stop with the hips kind of on top of that left knee, half splits, lengthening through the right leg. You can keep scooching your way back to sit on those heels, or one heel, I suppose. Right leg forwards. So use your blocks again if they come in handy. Keep a nice bend through that right knee, maybe pointing the toes up. lengthening through the spine. And then we're just going to shift ourselves back up. So lift the hips, slide those blocks up, maybe scooching that front foot forwards back into a lunge again. Now you can leave your foot in the middle. You can heel toe it over to the right side for a lizard lunge. So again, if you want to hold on to your blocks, hold on to your blocks, but sinking into the hips. Now we've got our right foot maybe out to the side. We're going to start to send the hips back again, maybe just on top of that left knee. Keep a nice soft bend through your right knee. Point those toes up. Now if it does feel a little bit more balanced to have your right hand on the outside of the right leg, you can move your block back over. You can keep trying to lower yourself down, but leave your right foot off to the side if you'd like. A soft bend through that knee, maybe pointing the toes up, and then we're just going to scooch our way back forwards. So move those blocks again. They may be useful, they may be in the way. Bending that right knee though, and then if you did heel toe your foot to the side, just bring it back in. Hands to your blocks or to the ground, sinking into your hips. Awesome work, you guys. Take another breath here. And then you can slowly push yourself back, slide that right leg back to tabletop. Shake it out, sway it out, and then we'll switch sides. So starting with just a simple lunge. Left foot forwards, foot in the middle of the mat, sinking into the hips. Breathe. Did I mention you can stay here? You can start to send your hips back, the little half splits. And don't worry about sitting back on the heel, but if you want to, go for it. Keep a little bend through that left knee though. Breathe. Starting to find your way back up. Sometimes the blocks slide nicely. Sometimes they get stuck. Be patient if you are using them. Come back to your lunge though, where maybe you will heel toe your foot to the left. And at the start, it's kind of a little bit wide to have that left block on the outside of the foot. But as we send our hips back, it gets a little more narrow. So if you want to move your block out after. Lizard. And then slowly, if you'd like, sending your hips back. Keep that left knee nice and soft. Now you don't have to sit back on the heel again, but you can try. Just got to move and slide everything as gracefully as we can. Nice soft bend through that left knee. And then finding our way back. Back to our lizard lunge. And then if you do have your foot off to the side, we can heel toe it back in. Take another few moments here. Sinking into that right hip flexor. Awesome work, you guys. Gonna push back a little bit or slide that left foot, that whole leg back and into a tabletop. Give your hips a little bit of a sway side to side. Awesome work. Okay, we're gonna do one more stretch for the legs. Blocks can be close by. You can either sit flat, legs in front. Our right leg's gonna be long, our left foot can find the inner thigh. Now, if you do enjoy sitting back on your heel, that left heel, we're gonna just bring some space maybe between the knees. You can have things snug together if you want to, but you can have the right leg out a little bit. You can have the left leg out a little bit. So not a crazy wide straddle, but maybe a little bit. And then the blocks, they may be useful once again. Soft bend through that right knee. Point those toes up a little bit, might get a little bit wobbly. And then we can fold. So maybe you're sitting flat, left foot on that inner thigh. Maybe you are sitting on that left heel, pointing those right toes up, reaching forwards, leaning forward. Nice job, you guys. Take another breath wherever you happen to be. And then you can slowly, maybe you're sliding your blocks back in. Now, I don't know how you want to switch sides. If you're seated flat, a little easier to do. Maybe you end up in child's pose legs if you're sitting on one heel. And then you can decide that left leg's going to be coming out. If you're sitting on the heel or sitting flat and the right foot on the inner thigh, you can bring some space between the knees if you want to. If you're sitting on the heel, you can keep things snug. If you want to, point those toes up, a little soft bend through the knee. And then maybe leaning forwards again. So wherever you happen to be, take another breath. You might be sliding blocks back in. You might be ending up sitting on both of those heels, or maybe you're sitting flat. You can hug your knees to your chest, but we are going to be making our way all the way onto our backs. If you want to pause for a moment in a seated position, give your knees a hug or a squeeze. But eventually laying down flat. Now you can hug your knees to your chest if you want to, or leave your feet on the ground. But maybe add a gentle sway side to side. Let your eyes close if you haven't already. Scan your body again. You're holding your knees. Gonna let them go. And send your legs out long, your feet nice and wide. Rest your arms somewhere comfy too. Find some stillness. As always, I encourage you to stay here for as long as you have time for Shavasana. Thank you for joining me Enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, namaste.